Live. Hello, Robin Dross. Welcome to My Neighborhood Guide, The Lockdown. So what we've been doing over the past few weeks is interviewing people from different businesses and finding out how the virus and the current situation has been affecting them. So you guys are obviously radio hosts. So what I want to know from you guys is how it's affected you and how you've had to adapt to your life. So let's first of all start with, how are you both and where are you at the moment?
We're in our kitchen right now in this wonderful house that you helped us purchase.
Yes.
And thank goodness you helped us do that, because otherwise we were in a real small place and I think it would have been a little bit more difficult for us to survive what we're going through right now. We live together and we work together, which is probably pretty rare for a lot of people. And we're just taking it day by day. There's a lot of levels. There's a lot of interesting kind of colors to working from home. The main thing, the toughest thing for me, I think, was delineating between the home life and the work life. Since we work at home, we live at home. Usually your home is a sanctuary. Mm-hmm. And I like going from my workplace to my home, but right now it's kind of hazy and it's kind of shifty and it's kind of weird. Mm-hmm. So
you're both desperate to get back in that studio.
I really am too. Yeah, because I think too, when you work at a regular place, you have all the tools that are necessary. You have all the ammo to do your job, and everything connects. And when you do it somewhere else, unlike from home, there are so many workarounds that you have to figure out to do things, which takes up more of your time. And your time is also hazy and phasey too. Working from home, living from home, the alarm doesn't go off at noon for your lunch. You're always here, you're always doing things. And we find that we spend a lot more time working at home than working at work.
Yeah, it's been, and by the way, we're married, so we aren't just like this weird morning show that
fake ring here.
That lives together. Well, 1 year next month will be our anniversary.
And thank goodness we got married last year in June and not this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And working from home too, from my point of view, once we got really nicely set up with us working from home, there was a tiny little itty bitty skeleton crew at the radio station, maybe 3 people, and one of them helps with our show. And once we got up and running here and she started working with our show, it's a lot better. It's a lot more comfortable. But there are a lot of workarounds, and our day feels a lot more structured working from home, because there's certain things you have to do to get the show on the air the next day that you have to get done the day before to send back to the studio. There's a lot of communication between the 3 of us and our producer, Nancy, to get the show on the air. So yeah, it is definitely different.
And it's hard for that personal intercommunication too with listeners, because normally at the station, call us up, we pop on the phone, hey, how you doing? Now we have to go through kind of a rigmarole to listen to somebody that comes back here, you talk to them and it goes back there.
So you are having lots of the technical issues.
Yeah.
Because obviously some people, I've worked in radio, and you get some people who actually do a regular show from home, but they probably have built a radio studio at home. They have the special lines. They have everything in place that they can take calls direct. They've effectively got the radio studio at home. You guys weren't prepared for this.
No.
So what, I'd love to just know, what technical aspects have you had to adapt to?
Well, we can talk to listeners, but we take them. Our producer lets us know through our iPad on Facebook that we have a phone call, and then we jump online. And then our studio, may I?
Sure.
Our little studio, our company.
Now this is $5 for a tour.
Right. Yeah. Our company has been amazing with keeping the staff, all of the staff, safe, getting us all set up to work from home.
Close the dishwasher.
Yeah. Would you close the dishwasher? All of our setups are a little bit different. But our company and our engineers were truly heroes in this situation. And so our little studio looks like this, right?
Awesome.
Yeah, so on our computer, generally we could see the music and the commercials, and Rob and Nancy, our producer, work on music, reorganizing things, all of that stuff. And then I work on which pieces of content will go on the air and how we introduce each piece of content and how we get out of each piece of content. This thing in the middle here, the gray thing, connects us directly to the radio station. So we are live in our case.
It's called a tie line.
And then we have our microphones. And then what I do is actually rather funny each morning is we are connected to Cat 5 cable back to the radio station. So I have to go into our pantry where our router lives and disconnect our TV for our living room and put the radio station in.
And now, of course, we do have a Cat 5 because we moved in a new house because you got us one.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Thank
yeah,
goodness.
Yes.
I mean, I'm having problems at home all the time because the internet connection is really, often poor. Everyone in my neighborhood's on Netflix.
Yeah.
So have you had any connection issues?
Yes. It's a natural flow of things with everybody being on, and once in a while we won't get things fast enough into our email to be able to work with it or something. But I mean, it's been nothing that's been catastrophic. And of course, when you're in radio, like other jobs, you learn to be flexible, you learn to adapt and adjust. And just like popping the microphone on the air, and the mistakes are made, and you just keep on going.
Yeah, we're able to get what we say on the air gets on the air, it gets on live. But like Rob said, I think the email delay is a really good example.
Yeah.
Just things are moving slowly.
Of course, we're transporting audio over that too, so it takes a lot of space.
Yeah. And what about the sound quality? Because I know it's really bizarre, but you can be in one room or one part of one room and you get this, weird echoes, and you don't have carpet. You've got beautiful wooden floors.
We do.
Yes, we do.
Yes. So was there any issues with that? Did you have to work out where you were going to do it?
We did move from the kitchen island in the middle to a corner. So it does sound a little bit better. It's not that bad. There might be a dash of echo here and there and not as full. We will try to process some audio that's sent to us that we can display later on. A lot of times too, we'll have a window open. We call it the 750 truck, goes by in the back in the morning. Every morning at 750, you hear beeping. And
you're in a new build and they're still building. Yeah.
Well, we're very honest with people. We're on the air. We're broadcasting from home. And that's just the way it is. If you hear a garbage truck go by, that's what it is.
And since so many people are doing the same thing, it's just in step with what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Like we're just dealing with this phase of Saturday Night Live. Everybody's at home. You watch certain TV show hosts, they're broadcasting at home. So everybody's sort of in this phase of being at home, being casual, and dealing with imperfections because the world is weird right now.
Yeah, and it's how you react to it as well.
Yeah.
You can make a joke about it, and there's a truck that's just gone past. Sorry, but it makes it even more real. So I think people will appreciate that rather than perfect thing. Yeah.
In a way, it kind of defines who you are going through this too, with the sounds and working with your kids, your interaction with your neighbors, about who you are, how you handle things, how people perceive you. If you're going a little bit house happy sometimes, you got to hold that in maybe and smile. Yeah. And especially the job that we're working morning radio, we have to really maintain some kind of cheer, some kind of optimism, because everybody's tired of hearing about COVID-19 and this and that, and how many have died in Wisconsin and what happened in Chicago. So although we do refer to it once in a while, we don't sink in it and swim. We try to swim.
Yeah. And so in regards to your everyday life, it sounds like it's changed a little bit because of the fact that you are working from home and you don't get that escape. I don't think you're going to be staying at home. I think you're not going to be building a studio at home. It sounds like you prefer going to work.
I do. I mean, you've talked to the wife maybe, but I like I said, to delineate between the home that you helped us get is so fantastic. I want this to be my refuge, my solitude, where I have fun. I want work to be the work island, and trying to combine both of them. Like I mentioned earlier, I have a kind of a hard time with that.
And what about your listeners as well? Now, obviously, most of the people who normally listen to your show drive to work, and they're listening to it on the way to work. What's happened in regards to your listeners? Have you got the figures yet? Have they gone down? And are people listening differently now than before?
Yes, actually, listenership has gone up because of what's going on. People wish to be informed. What's a little bit different is the time that you listen, because we used to go to work at, we'd be on the air from 5 o'clock until 9 in the morning. Now we're on from 6 until noon. And a lot of people have changed because they're not going to work early. They're working at home, or they're not taking the kids to school. So instead of listening to that prime time, maybe between 6:30, 7 and 7:30, they might be doing 8 to maybe 10 o'clock in the morning listening to you. So we've kind of elongated our hours and what we do from 6 until 10, and then it's kind of a different feel from 10 until noon. But our days are pretty long, and
are people engaging more now as well? Because one of the things with your, show before was a lot of people were driving the kids, etc. So they weren't going to be calling in and writing messages and stuff. Now they're at home. Are they wanting to call in more and text more and do all of that?
You know what? I think I hate to use the term new normal because it feels kind of shadowy and a little bit on the negative side.
Yeah, like we'll be stuck like this forever, and we won't be.
I think they're doing the same thing. Our listeners doing the same thing we did. We first started this out. Oh my goodness, I've got a wet blanket on my shoulders.
Yeah.
And this is pretty tough. How am I going to get through it? And as we are getting through this, more and more people are coming out of the rabbit holes.
They are, yeah. I think we all went through a very dark beginning of March, middle of March. And there is a shift now to where people are coming back and interacting, whether they're calling the radio station, they're on social media, or we do a thing on Facebook Live every morning at 10:15, whether they want to jump in and join on that. People are starting to reach out a little bit more and come out of this very dark space.
And I think people want normalcy too. They want their favorite radio show or TV show or whatever to remind them that things can be okay and can be normal, which is why we try to, like I said, maintain some kind of cheer.
Cool. And just so remind us, how do we listen to you on the radio?
Oh, there's a lot of ways, my friend. There's a lot of ways.
Glad that you asked. And that was something that too, with people kind of shifting their listening, there's a lot of different ways you can listen at home, and not everybody knows. Of course, you have your radio. That's how we listen to our radio station, Sunny 90.1 in San Diego in the morning, is on our radio.
And there's smart speakers.
You actually have an old school radio.
We do. We have a clock radio in the kitchen. That's how we listen. We finally set the time on it.
Yeah, that took about 3 weeks. So stop blasting. I'm gonna figure this puppy out, man. It's not gonna say noon anymore.
There is also if you have a smart speaker, you can most likely listen to your favorite radio station. So ask your Alexa or your Google Home to play, for example, Sunny 98.1. But if you have a favorite station in mind, generally they are equipped to be on a smart speaker.
And we also have a download too with radio.com.
Yeah, you can download that onto your device. It's free. It's fun on the App or Google Play Store. You type in SUNNY 98.1 to hear us. There's honestly lots of different stations on there. All our sister stations are on there. Podcasts, all of that stuff on that app. You can listen live on your computer. Your favorite radio station will most likely have a listen live link. We've got one of those, and that's really nice too. That's the other way that I listen a lot to Sunny. When I'm working at home in the afternoon, when I turn the station on, I'll just click on listen live on my computer because it's right in front of me.
And with our format too, it's a lot of, we call it feel good music. I mean, it's up tempo 80s stuff, reminds you of good times, and it's really a good infusion of music and to help your attitude during these times.
Yeah, and you guys were on Kixie Radio before. You've moved over to Sunny. We spoke about that when you just moved over, and you said you were loving it. I gather, working from home right now and the same company, I gather things haven't changed too much for you moving station.
No, you know what, they haven't, and we're so as far as working for the same company. What's really funny is, our job, no matter where we do it or what station, putting it together, it's almost uncanny. Putting it together and crafting the show is kind of the same process, no matter what station you're on or what city you're on. But as far as our position now, we are very fortunate to have worked at Kixie, which is a great station, and now Sunny, and we're just so happy to have worked at both. And as far as our management and who we're working with, it's roughly the same. The major thing that's changed, I guess, is the music a little bit. But San Diego radio listeners and people in general in San Diego are great. So we count ourselves very blessed every morning.
We're in the right place. We're in the right audio platform.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
We're very, very lucky.
And financially, I know when we had a big recession in 2006, the radio industry completely changed. It really did. I remember it was when I was trying to get a job in radio. And I was going for jobs, and everyone was getting made redundant in the radio industry. And I just wanted to know what you think might happen at the moment, because obviously people are going to pull back from radio advertising a little bit, because then some businesses aren't going to open. So I'd just like to know about the financial, impact and how it might affect. Have you thought about how it might affect you guys, and are you worried at all?
I like to worry about everything.
Yeah, I think radio people, we're always worried that we're going to be gone tomorrow, because that's the way the industry is. But it depends how you want to look at it too. You can also look at it that this is an opportunity for somebody else who's a business person to actually take advantage of the situation and get in there and maybe not buy at a rate that is usual. It's kind of like the gas prices. Around the corner was $3.75 a couple of weeks ago. Now it's $2.90,
$2.99 yesterday. Yeah.
So you can look at it that way. If you want to, that there's a positive spin.
And you said that listenership's actually gone up as well.
Yes.
Yeah, listenership looks really stable. So I think to Rob's point, since every kind of business has taken a hit because of this, it only stands to reason that the platforms that advertise for them, like radio, you could say TV, whatever the case may be, have also taken a hit. But which of course is difficult for all of those industries as well. But I do think like you said, it is definitely an opportunity, because when the recession happened 10, 11 years ago, people did turn to radio because your money for your dollar is very, very good with radio. It's a cost-effective way to advertise and a cost-effective way to reach a lot of people. And so that's still the case. This will be a cost-effective way to reach a lot of people. And with advertisers, in some cases, pulling back, if you are on the radio, you're going to stand out more.
Yeah.
And if you continue your advertising right now, when we get out of this, you're going to be stronger than your competition who maybe didn't advertise. So there is definitely a lot of opportunity here. But, we say that with absolute understanding that there are almost every business in America right now, and globally, is struggling right now. So we are certainly not
in our industry too,
ignorant to that.
There's pay cuts.
Yeah.
Across the board. You said that you've now doing a 6-hour shift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So effectively, everyone's doing a longer shift. So one radio host is probably not working right now because they've had to decrease. And that's why I got out of the industry when I was younger, because I remember there were.
You're smarter than we are.
Yeah, you're smarter.
I still would love to be doing your job, if I'm honest. But
I always wanted to do your job.
we just swap. That would be, exactly. So I remember when I was going for radio jobs, and there was hundreds of radio stations, and then there would be 1 3-hour shift for each part of the day. And when you started off, they'd stick you on the evening shift, graveyard shift, as they used to call it in England. 3 in the morning, no one's listening. You go on there, and if you're any good, you might get a slightly better one, and then you go from there. And when I went into the industry, that had gone. They basically networked most of the shows. So whereas before you'd have 300 radio presenters at 3 in the morning, you had 1.
Yeah. Oh, and it's absolutely true.
It's a tough industry to break into now, and it has been since you left.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to get in the door.
It's tough, but it's I suppose the elite survive in that situation, and you guys are doing an amazing job. You're building your listenership every single day. I've built a friendship with you. I know how funny you guys are, not just on the radio, but in real life.
Well, I think that's part of the deal there too, is we're ourselves like we are right now, and we are the same way on the radio. And the success is to be yourself and not somebody else.
Yeah. And so if someone does want to, if we've got businesses listening to this right now, and they're like, do you know what, this is a great time to advertise in regards to radio, because I know that there's someone else I know who advertises on radio, and they were like, I'm getting so much more value than what I did before. So how would they contact the radio station to find out about advertising? What would be
who's your favorite salesperson?
You're right.
which person? Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to give out a very unprofessional email address, and I apologize for that. We have company email addresses, but when we started on Sunny, it was right before the pandemic hit. So we have not been able to get with our engineer to figure out how to access like Rob or Joss at sunny981.com. So I'm going to give you, those exist, but I don't know how to get into it. So I'm going to give you Rob and Joss, and that's ROBANDJOSS, Rob and Joss at hotmail.com.
Yeah.
Get in touch with us, and then we will link you up with our sales manager.
Absolutely.
We really do have a great creative and motivated team. They're wonderful people and hardworking, and they can help you out. And I think now, and also we have a lot of different platforms. We do the radio stations, but we also have digital platforms. So we can help you put together your campaign on social media, or your campaign on, all across the internet. We can help you with that. We've got digital. When they come back, we do have events, whenever those come back. So there's actually even more opportunity than radio advertising as well. So it's actually sort of cool. A couple of years ago, I used to sell, and what I loved about it is there were so many different tools to choose from to put together a campaign. So
I never saw my wife.
Yeah, I was for 2 years. He never saw me because I was doing 2 jobs. I had a good time though.
Yeah.
Do you know one of the things that's taken off at the moment? I'm intrigued if you're on it yet. Is TikTok.
Yeah, we're not doing it as much because our target audience is a little bit older than the target audience for TikTok. So Rob and I are not doing it, but
Because I would love to see you guys do some TikToks. It would be really funny.
Is that like they're dancing? What are they doing on there?
Yeah, exactly. It's all sorts.
Oh, you don't want to see that, Dave. That's going to require a lot of tequila.
You're making it sound like we're working our Commodore 64 over here.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. When we're done with Atari, we'll jump on there.
Right. I got my Intellivision on right now.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about on the show?
Thanks for the house.
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
Jiminy Christmas. We say this all the time. 2 things we're very grateful for. We got married last year and didn't try to do it this year. And we have a place to live that just turned out phenomenally well. And we feel very fortunate to work with you.
Yeah,
honestly,
absolutely.
I am so glad. And the funny thing is we were in the process of sorting out me coming over and seeing all your stuff in the house, and then this happened. And so I really do look forward to coming over and enjoying a glass of wine without a mask on.
Absolutely. Better days ahead, and we will certainly get out a beautiful bottle of wine for when that day comes.
If there's anything left.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. My wife said the other day, she's like, I went to the supermarket and there was no tonic water for my gin and tonic. She's like, everyone's turned into an alcoholic. So all the toilet paper went first, and now all the important alcohol and mixers are going.
Okay, I got to go to the store.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks for coming on, guys. I look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you, Dave. Stay healthy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.